Well, first of all, very pleased to be visiting with Dr. Jack Beck. He's a friend of mine from back in the day. Dr. Beck, he teaches at Jerusalem University College, among other things. He's the author of a number of different books, including the Discovery House Bible Atlas, Everyday Life in Bible Times, a visual guide to Bible events, and a visual guide to gospel events, among others. And so really happy to take this moment to be chatting with you. So thank you for taking this moment.
It's a great pleasure to visit with you.
Excellent. Hey, one of the things that you inspired in me years and years ago was kind of a newfound love for the Bible in context. That this is a Bible that emerges out of real stories and out of real places. Why is it though that for so many people reading the Bible is such a daunting task?
Yeah, I think any ancient document comes with challenge. And that's in part related to the way God made us, who we are, and how we think, and how we most naturally communicate with one another is very much anchored in where we're from. And I could use any number of examples from my own life and probably from yours as well that reflect our language has a heritage in where we're from. So it's not terribly surprising that part of the human experience would also create some challenge in reading people who wrote in the past. When the Holy Spirit inspired these individuals to communicate his thoughts in writing, it wasn't out of the place or time that I live in. Things that were most natural for people of the Bible times to think about and to talk about sometimes sound a bit foreign and strange to me. So when I pick up my Bible and encounter those, I think if we're honest, most of us simply skip over those things and move on to things that are clearer and more easily understood by us. My challenge has been to slow my reading down, observe those places where the geography becomes part of the communication process, and to get back into that era to better understand the place so that I might understand how the people who wrote the Bible thought and communicated.
Was there for you a shift moment, an epiphany moment, an experience where you read the Bible in a certain way that kind of brought things to life for you?
Yeah, I think that there was, and a lot of people are surprised who haven't known me for 25 years, that 25 years ago, I was reading the Bible without paying any attention to the geography in place. And that puts me in the company of a lot of other folks who are new to the idea. But about 20 years ago, I had the good fortune, maybe even we'll say divine direction, of being in a class with one of the best biblical geographers in the country, Barry Beitzel. And Barry took me into Matthew 4:13 and asked us as a class the question, why do you suppose that Matthew was so insistent on having us know that Jesus left Nazareth and went to Capernaum? And as we began to unpack that geography and the differences between those two places, that passage began to open up, and that just started a chain reaction of passages that I had long thought I knew very well, opening up in new ways when I began to ask how the geography in those passages that I had so long ignored was participating in communicating the event to me.
Mm-hmm. This summer at Lake Ridge Community Church, we are going to be working through the book of Acts. And it's the story of Paul's journey. There's a lot of place names. There's a lot of cultural references and people groups. And it's just thick. And for a lot of people, it might seem really daunting to step into that. Is there any advice that you can give to our community as we're about to go into a lot of place names and cultural references that are just so foreign and new to us?
Yeah. Take on the challenge and embrace the opportunity. Because if you haven't had a chance to read the Bible, taking advantage of some of these insights, you'll feel the reward very quickly and very regularly. The entire book of Acts is built on a geographical outline as the gospel moves from Jerusalem to Judea to Samaria to the very ends of the earth. So right up front, Luke is very intentional about saying, I'm going to use geography to tell this story that evolved geographically. So it's a great opportunity and a great book to use to sample what the rewards might be from reading a text, reading an entire book with greater geographical sensitivity.
I'm right now in my neighborhood. I'm sitting outside. You can probably hear trucks going by and planes flying over. And this is our location. This is our geography, Chestermere, Alberta. And sometimes the story of the Bible seems so distant and foreign to us. But yet we're starting to kind of realize that maybe God is working even here now. Do you believe that geography or my culture is important to God also?
Absolutely. I mean, he created us to be people of place. The very first thing we read in our Bible is that God created a place, and then he created human beings and associated them with a place. He never anticipated that we would live in a place-free environment. In fact, as I read the New Testament, Romans 8 and into the book of Revelation and beyond, we're going to have experienced eternity in a new heaven and new earth. Not a new heaven only, but a new heaven and a new earth. We will always be place-connected people, even in our resurrected bodies. And so I think in embracing that reality, knowing that where God has put us affects how we think and how we communicate, and maybe even what he expects of us as the people of God in a place, is very worthy of our thoughtful reflection.
Very good, very good. Hey, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us and to chat with our community, Lake Ridge Community Church. I know a lot of us will be inspired to dig a little bit deeper into the Bible and to learn a little bit more about the places where God was working then, and trusting that God's at work here with us now. So thank you, Dr. Beck. Appreciate your time. Take care.
You're most welcome. Every blessing in your ministry.